Welcome, everyone, to our celebration of Leo and its opposite sign, Aquarius. Before we delve into the intricacies of this full moon, I'd like to share with you a brief description of what most astrologers are talking about this week. It's called the Barbalt's Bundle. It's a mouthful. And it was inaugurated on July 14th at the new moon of Cancer. So what does this mean? Well, it's a very rare combination of aspects that will manifest in quite a bit of chaos and confusion, but it will eventually signal a more just world over the next years and a greater awareness of how the world actually works. This is so badly needed right now. It also portends an evolving financial new world order, one that will see average humanity lifted up, realizing that all will be well. It represents a movement away from financial capitalism and toward democratic socialism. The uplifting Sabian symbol for this full moon inspires hope about the deep level of change that is currently underway and reminds us that all is being guided by the benefic cosmos. The Sabian symbol is this, quote, "A child is seen being born out of an egg, the emergence of new mutations according to the great rhythms of the universe." Astrologer Dane Rudyard expands on the meanings of this symbolic image in his book, An Astrological Mandala. Quote, "Here we see the appearance of a new type of human being who is not born from ancestors and therefore is free from the inertia of humankind's past. This new being constitutes a fresh projection of the creative spirit that emanates from the cosmic or planetary whole, and not from any local cultural or racial tradition. This stage of the cycle announces the emergence of a global human for the new age." So, my friends, let us hope that these global humans will guide our planet into a new world order. One final word on this configuration. Visually and energetically, the basket acts as a cosmic shock absorber. The basket configuration provides a safety net beneath the chaos, ensuring that the crumbling of the old systems does not lead to pure destruction, but rather creates a highly protected, incubated space for entirely new ideas. Wouldn't that be great? Localized community power and profound structural innovation to take root. It's asking us to break the stale patterns, to innovate boldly, to question illusions, and build a future aligned with truth. A true reset. This is a true reset moment personally and collectively. This is an exciting perspective and one that I'm sure we all hope will manifest. Now on to the full moon. Just as the sun is the center of our solar system, around which all the planets and planetary bodies revolve, so the world and all its people revolve around the Leo type, or so the Leo would like us to believe. Leo is known for its leadership qualities, for its ego, for its presence within a group of people, and for its magnetism. Just as the sun gives vitality to everything in the solar system, so the Leo type, whether sun sign or ascendant, exemplifies that radiance when the leonine qualities are well expressed. Leo rules the heart and the spine in medical astrology. We're all acquainted with phrases like having the lion's heart or having a spine, representing courage and the ability to stand against the odds. And Leos often have to overcome serious personal obstacles before they can exemplify the higher Leo traits. These crisis points in Leo's life have the potential to reset the mind, to change one's point of view. It's a good excuse for looking inward and exploring the ways to develop the self. Leos need their times of isolation. When alone, meditation becomes the way of progress for Leo. Meditation cuts through ordinary appearances, reveals the truth behind phenomena, and focuses the mind through an act of will. That invariably produces crises in one's life. Artists and practiced meditators know this sort of thing very well. It's true in any area of life where intense mental focus is required. That point of crisis is the mental block that precedes a real breakthrough. It takes time for the tension to mount to the point where it really is a recognizable tension in your life. The point here is to persist in the face of obstacles. This is the unique power of Leo, to maintain the point of sustained mental focus necessary for a breakthrough. Interestingly, Russia has Leo rising in its national chart and a Leo personality. And Putin has often spoken of the need for breakthroughs in Russian industry and society. And Russia has certainly gone through its share of points of crisis. Now, shifting gears a bit, let's talk a little bit about Leo. A little more about Leo. Leo is a fixed sign, a fire sign, and a sign closely associated with self-development, discipline, and discipleship, the latter being its higher calling. Once the Leo type has come to terms with their struggles and has chosen the course of self-development, then the magnetism of Leo begins to show, and they become a natural center, a leader within their group, whether family, community, or nation. Several well-known presidents of the US have been Leo types. For example, Donald Trump, Bill Clinton, Barack Obama, and W. Bush. All of these Leo presidential types have echoed the sense of American exceptionalism, have sought to place the US at the head of the table, so to speak, with their campaign rhetoric, speaking of the need for peace through strength. Lyndon Johnson also had Leo rising. On the downside, all of the Leo presidents listed presided over large military actions, and they have all been involved in some sort of controversy. Leos do love to be the center of attention. On the whole, though, Leos can be a lot of fun, are friendly, are attention-seeking, proud, and love a good piece of drama. In fact, they like to be the cause of any drama. Once the Leo has established a relationship with the soul, however, the situation changes, because Leo at that point is not interested in personal aggrandizement. This is one of the hallmarks of the developed Leo. The emphasis for Leo esoterically is purely upon enlightenment, starting with self-enlightenment and culminating in full enlightenment. The emphasis upon the heart is exhibited through Leo on the path of self-enlightenment. The emphasis on the heart is found often in esoteric Buddhist practices as well. Leo first becomes a thinker, and then in the process transcends thought itself. Through self-mastery, the leadership qualities of Leo are developed. But in the process, great sensitivity is also developed. Neptune rules the development of such sensitivity. The sensitivity is developed in the processes of purification. in which the grosser elements of the personality are figuratively and sometimes literally burned away, leaving a very open and sensitized set of energy fields. The fire element of Leo is a signifier of such processes. In esoteric Buddhism, there is a process in the Buddhist sadhanas called taking birth on the path, wherein one arises as the deity of the sadhana within a mandala surrounded by its retinue. At that instant, one develops divine pride in that one realizes the deity as one's own Buddha nature. In the practice of sadhana, one adopts the attitude of thinking as if, instead of wondering what if. There is no doubt, no discussion in such a case about the effects or the after effects or etc. Instead, one expects and focuses one's attention on becoming a fully enlightened being. The deity in the sadhana only represents the person's higher self. Taking birth onto the path is a vehicle to enlightenment, but it is also exemplary of Leo typology. The Leo sees him or herself as perfected, acting as if they are, as they envision themselves. Conversely, there is nothing essentially wrong in thinking or wondering what if used as a scientific method, taking in every possibility in scientific investigation, as in seeing life as an experiment. That again can be seen in the process of Leo, as one masters some aspect of their being, as shown in one's horoscope, where Leo is prominent and rules. To master something, one must practice as if one already has mastery. Yes, mistakes will be made, but without practice, there is no progress. Let's take a look now at the dynamic between Leo and its opposite sign, Aquarius. The two signs influence each other and are reflective, figuratively speaking. We see this in the astrology houses as well. For instance, the meridian axes, the 4th and the 10th houses. All the pairs of opposite signs and houses can be seen as axes. These must not be analyzed in isolation as to the individual houses. The 10th house is public standing and career, while the 4th house is home, property, and family. Changes in one or the other of those houses very often affects the affairs of the opposite house. A change of work may bring a change of residence, for instance, or growth or ruptures in family life may prompt a change in career. Problems at home can impinge on work performance, or overwork can adversely affect family life. A better job can mean a bigger home or expanded property is possible, and so on. The opposites wax and wane in influence, as each pole seeks its fullness of expression. Initially, these exchanges in influence may seem to be conflicting, but what is actually happening is a movement toward equilibrium. There are astrological meditations where the sign opposite the sun sign is an essential part of the meditation. Fullness of expression by one pole cannot be had without the influence or at the expense of the other. People advance more quickly in group fashion than they do alone. With Leo and Aquarius, we have the social axis as it relates to individuals and groups. All human groups, Aquarius, are comprised of individuals, Leo. We in the West have constantly had the ideal of the value of the individual hammered home. Individual property rights are a manifestation of that, for instance. And this sense of individuality has been important in human development. Without the development of the individual, the value added to groups remains stagnant at best. Yet the interaction of the individual within the group spurs the development of the individual. Our friends, Aquarius, are quite important to us. And the tendency in Aquarius is to accumulate friends, acquaintances, and contacts by the bucket load. The worst case scenario for any Leo type is self-isolation, unless for a very specific spiritual practice. Every group involvement by an individual has the capacity to greatly broaden one's vista and contacts, and vice versa. And in fact, our involvement in groups very often brings us into contact with the most important, significant others for the fulfillment of our destiny. So our collective environment is as important as is the individual. At the moment, the focus in the West is overmuch on the individual, whereas the opposite has been the case in the East. And now we are beginning to see a balancing taking place. Dame Rudyard once stated, astrologers should not see the emergence of the Aquarian age in isolation, but the evolution should rather be seen as the Aquarian Leo age. The sun is our life force. So in this Leo month, we should feel our energy moving outward. There is more solar energy available to us this month. Perhaps we can use this solar energy to bring the light of the sun into our hearts and radiate it out into the world as love, light, warmth, and compassion. We don't have to go anywhere to do this. We just embody the light that we are. The subtle beings who share your living space will benefit. They are fed by our energy just as we are fed by theirs. A mantra for Leo is more radiant than the sun, purer than the snow, subtler than the ethers is the self, the spirit within me. I am that self am I. I am that, and that am I. We are connected to each other in this way. Several years ago, when I first started meditating on this mantra, I found myself sobbing. There was such a longing to know that self, to know that I am that self. That is our opportunity this month with the sun in Leo. We can tune into that part of us that embodies the divine, the self that we are in essence. So here is a poem by Rumi. Lo, I am with you always means when you look for God, God is the look in your eyes, in the thought of looking, nearer to you than yourself or any of the things that have happened to you. There's no need to go outside. Be melting snow. Wash yourself of yourself. A white flower grows in the quietness. Let your tongue become that flower. So, my friends, when you look for God, when you long for that connection and yearn for that union, know that God is in that yearning, nearer to you than yourself or the things that have happened to you. Wash yourself of that old small self. Be the flower that opens to the sun and grows in the quietness. You can make use of this energy this month. Call it in, invoke it every day. Be the radiant sun that you are. Let's prepare now for our meditation. Make sure you're seated comfortably with all distractions taken care of. This is your time, your sacred time to sit and become still. Taking a few deep breaths, notice the softness that flows into the body, this gentle letting go energy of releasing all that constricts. Now begin to put your attention on the breath. breathing rhythmically, easily letting all tension float away on each exhalation. Feel the body sink into relaxation and the mind begin to quiet, and the emotional body becomes still. In your mind's eye now, see the color orange fill the room. This is the color of Leo. Take a few moments to breathe that color into your heart and hold the intention to be receptive to those energies as they descend into your body. Now listen as I repeat the mantra for Leo. More radiant than the sun, purer than the snow, subtler than the ethers is the self, the spirit within me. I am that self. That self am I. Put your awareness now on your heart center. And remember that Leo rules the heart. Imagine yourself sitting on a peaceful beach. You can hear the sounds of the waves crashing onto the shore. You can smell the salt air. Looking around, you see it is just about sunrise. Feel the warmth of the breeze on your face. The temperature is just right. Now watch as the sun rises. Imagine it fully above the horizon now, brilliant in its orange gold flaming light. Breathe that sun right into your heart. Feel its warmth as it irradiates your entire body, filling every cell with light. Your heart beats, and with every pulsation, the energy of love, of light, is sent to every part of your body. Feel this energy fill you with vitality, energy, vibrancy. See yourself as a radiant being of light. More radiant than the sun. That is you. Feel it in your heart. I am a radiant being, full of light. That is who I am. At my very core, I am light and love and intelligence. This is my true deep self. Let that sink in for just a minute or two. Purer than the snow. I am a being of essential purity. No matter what I've done or what's been done to me, in my essence, I am pure. I am this love. I am this sun. The spirit within is me. Now imagine this sun at the center of your chest. Wherever you go, imagine it shining 360 degrees from that center. Include all those that you see and interact with in that light. Now imagine that the light that is within you is the same light that is within them. Imagine living your life this way, seeing the light in every person you meet and radiating outward your own inner sun. This is the gift of Leo and Aquarius. Let us just sit in this silence for a few moments before we come back and just allow these two energies to fully enter your body. Now, slowly opening your eyes, bring yourselves back to the room in which you are sitting. Feel your body touching the chair or the floor. Wiggle your fingers and move your feet. Send your energy down to your feet, sensing the roots at the bottom of your feet that go right into the center of the earth. Feel yourself grounded in the earth. And now we will close with the poem by Shalane Harkin and the Great Invocation. Quote, "It's when the earth shakes and foundations crumble that our light is called to rise up. It's when everything falls away and shakes us to our core and awakens all our hidden ghosts that we dig deeper to find once inaccessible strength. It's in times when division is fierce that we must reach for each other and hold each other much, much tighter. Do not fall away now. This is your time to rise. Your light is being summoned. Your integrity is being tested that it may stand more tall. When everything collapses, we must find within us that which is indomitable. Rise and find the strength in your heart. Rise and find the strength in each other. Burn through your devastation. Make it your fuel. Bring forth your light. Now is not the time to be afraid of the dark." Unquote. I love that poem. Let us close now with the first stanza of the Great Invocation that was given to us in 1935 by a Tibetan master. Let the forces of light bring illumination to humankind. Let the spirit of peace be spread abroad. May people of goodwill everywhere meet in a spirit of cooperation. And may forgiveness on the part of every human be the keynote at this time. Let power attend the efforts of the great ones. So let it be, and help us to do our part. Thank you, dear friends. Namaste.
Thank you so much, Karen.
Just a second. Just a second. I have to unrecord us. Okay,